Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing this very beautiful dark skin client of mine. So she was getting ready for her graduation and we are going to glam her up together. So the first thing I do is always to wipe up the face. Wiping off your face, okay, just gives you like a very clean base. And then after that, I'll go into sweat block because since she's going to be spending the whole day probably under the sun and moving about, I'm going to go ahead and apply sweat block all over her face except her under eyes. Okay, then after sweat block, I'm going to use serum. I'm using the 24K gold serum from ZQ Cosmetics and I'm going to apply that under her eyes, all over her face except her nose. This helps moisturize the face and keeps the face really hydrated.
I think about you every day and night. A million reasons why I can't get you out my mind.
Then after serum, of course, I'll go into my moisturizer from MS Metis and I'll put that all over her face, under her eyes, exempting her nose. You want to make sure you're putting moisturizer under her eyes, okay? Anything drying, you exempt it, but moisturizing under the eyes is just going to stop your face from creasing or your under eyes from creasing because that part dries the most. Then for her nose, of course, I'm going to use my matte primer from Zaron Cosmetics and I'm going to apply that onto her T-zone, that is her nose and her forehead, where she's going to sweat the most.
I wish that I could just rewind the time. 'Cause every time I look around, you're never there, you're never there.
For foundation, I'm using this foundation from V Beauty. You guys can see this is her exact tone. Guys, when I'm working with dark skin, I don't just always like to play with too much colors or using a light foundation or whatsoever. I'm going in with her exact shade. Even if it oxidizes, I am still going to be able to work with it. So I'm using my beauty blender now to pad in that foundation onto her skin. You want to make sure you're padding in, not swiping, so that the product stays on top of her skin. For her concealer, I'm using one shade lighter than her foundation, as you guys can see. Guys, when I'm working with dark skin, I always just like to go very minimal, okay, and then build from scratch, if you guys understand what I'm saying. So I'm applying very little concealer and then I'll blend that into her skin because I still have to use a lot of powders on her face, and since she's dark skin, using a lot of brown things may just like switch up her face, turning it into another color, if you guys get what I mean. So I am working with very little amount of products, especially the liquids, and then I'm going to work with more powders. So guys, I am so sorry I missed or I lost a clip of how I set her under eyes, but I'm basically just using the same color of concealer that I use, something that is like a step lighter than her foundation, just so that it works well for her face. And I'm pressing that under her eyes, her chin, her cupids and her forehead, mostly the areas that I highlighted with the liquid concealer.
I think about you every day and night. A million reasons why I can't get you out my mind. I wish that I could just rewind the time.
Right now, I'm contouring or I'm bronzing up using a darker shade of powder, okay, just to like bring out the structure of her face even more. I'm going to do that onto her cheekbone and then her nose. Then my favorite part, of course, blush. One thing I like about dark skin is you can literally use any color of blush and it's going to go so well. At some point I tried to use like ox blood and it went really well on her skin, guys. After that, I'm going to use my RCMA translucent setting powder to just like set her under eye. Then after, I'm going to move into the eyes and then to the eyeshadow. For the eyebrows, I'm not going to talk too much. I'm just going ahead to brush the hairs upwards, prepping the brows for drawing. Then I'm not going to be using my regular brown pencil. I actually use my black Million Pauline gel liners, the black and the brown actually, so that I can get her shade. My brown pencil or my brown pencil couldn't like print well on her face, so I had to use the black Million Pauline gel liner with the brown. I mixed it with the brown using the black more, okay, if you understand what I mean. In this case, if you have a pencil, you can go ahead and use the black pencil and just interchanging it with the brown pencil, just so that her brows doesn't really look too black. So right now I'm highlighting or I'm cleaning her underbrows using the same shade of concealer or something a bit lighter than the concealer that I used to highlight her face, just to make the brow stand out even more. At the beginning part of her brows, I'm going to use her shade of foundation just to make sure it doesn't look crazy. You guys are seeing the shade I am mixing now. I'm kind of mixing like her foundation and then the concealer that I used on her face, just to make it look really good. Because if you use the lighter shade of concealer on immediately where her brow is starting, when you're blending your nose contour and linking all of that up, it's not going to look good. So right now what I'm doing is I'm blending all of that concealer just to make everything look very, very seamless.
I think about you every day and night. A million reasons why I can't get you out my mind. I wish that I could just rewind the time. Cause every time I look around, you're never there, there.
All of that looks really good. I'm going to use my brown powder shade from V Cosmetics. Is the powder palette. You can just use any brown shade there, and I'm just going to pack that color onto her crease, blending it outward and inwards very, very lightly. Then I'm using this somehow soft brownish orange color. That is how the color was on the palette, guys. I cannot tell you if it's orange and I cannot tell you if it's brown, so we're just going to be in the middle. So I'm using that to blend in my crease. For the main color area, I think I use something like a peach like plum color. I don't know if I should call it like this, but it looks like peach and it wants to look like a plum like looking color. And of course I'm using something that is having shimmer, shiny, so I'm pressing that on top of the main area on her eyelids. To make the eye look stand out even more, I'm using a glitter of that same color and I'm pressing down to the middle part of her eyes. Then I'll go into my Million Pauline gel liner to line her waterline and to line her eyes to make it look more defined. For highlighter, I'm going to use my Liquids illuminating spray. Okay, that is what I'm using right now. It has been so long I used highlighting palette. I'm just using the liquid now because it really blends in so well into the skin and it makes it look more seamless. So yeah, I'm applying that onto the nose, her cupid bow, her jaw. For her lips, I'm going to use the brown Million Pauline gel liner as well. God, this Million Pauline gel liner, I've been using it for so long and I really love it because I use it for almost everything. So I'm lining her lips. Okay, you want to make sure you're overlining your client's lips. Trust me, it looks more beautiful that way. I'm lining the top part and then the lower lip. Then I'll go into a new shade of lipstick and I'm going to put that onto her lips, blend it. And went ahead to apply gloss. After that, I'm going to use the MS Metics fixing spray just to make sure I fix all of that going on. No powdery surface, everything looks very smooth. Then I'll use my So Pro setting spray, not fixing spray. And I'm going to spray that all over our face to hold the makeup together. And this really looks good, guys, and I totally love it. If you love this look, make sure you tell me in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. My client really looks good, and I'm so proud of myself because working with dark skin is not all that easy as people think it is. Bye guys. Mwah.
I think about you every day and night. A million reasons why I can't get you out my mind. I wish that I could just rewind the time. Cause every time I look around, you're never there, there.